Ever wondered how planes actually fly or what really pushes a 300-ton aircraft through the sky? That job falls to the jet engine. The same engines powering almost every flight you've ever taken, unless you're on a turboprop or a piston general aviation plane. But we're not here for those today. Modern jet engines are the backbone of civilian aviation. They power everything from regional jets like the Embraer E190 to massive aircraft like the Boeing 747. Most of these engines are turbofans, and the reason is quite simple. They're efficient, they're quieter than older turbojets, and they work extremely well at high altitudes. Compared to propeller aircraft, turbofan engines provide higher speeds, better fuel efficiency over longer distances, and consistent thrust. That's why commercial aviation depends on them. But before we talk about how turbofans work, we need to understand what came before them. At the dawn of the jet age, early jet aircraft used turbojet engines. At the time, they were revolutionary. They allowed aircraft to fly faster and higher than propeller planes ever could. But they had problems. Turbojets were very loud, they were also very inefficient. All of their thrust came from extremely fast exhaust gases, which burned a lot of fuel. They also struggled at lower speeds. Acceleration was slower, and producing high thrust during takeoff wasn't ideal. As jet travel expanded, these weaknesses became impossible to ignore. That's where the turbofan came in. Turbofan engines use the same basic jet core, but with one major upgrade. Instead of accelerating a small amount of air very fast, turbofans move a large amount of air more slowly. This produces more thrust, far less noise, and dramatically better fuel efficiency. From the early jet age to modern high bypass engines, fuel consumption dropped by roughly 50%. That change is what made modern commercial aviation possible. Now, with that out of the way, let's discuss how a modern turbofan engine works. At its core, a turbofan engine does four things. It ingests, compresses, combusts, and expels air. Let's break that down now. First of all, the engine intakes air through the front fan. These large blades are connected to a shaft and spin continuously. Keep in mind that most of this air does not enter into the engine core. Now, the majority of this incoming air flows around the core through a bypass duct. This bypass air is accelerated out of the back of the engine, creating most of the thrust. It also helps cool the engine. In modern high bypass turbofans, over 80% of the total thrust comes from this bypass air alone. That's the key difference between turbojets and turbofans. Now, the smaller portion of air that enters the core goes through a series of compressors. There are low pressure and high pressure compressors arranged in stages. Each stage optimizes the air pressure and temperature for efficient combustion. However, not all compressed air is burned. Some of it is used to power aircraft systems, which are also known as pneumatic systems. This includes cabin pressurization, air conditioning, and wing de-icing. These systems are why passengers can breathe comfortably at cruising altitude. Most of the compressed air mixes with fuel in the combustion chamber. The mixture ignites, producing extremely hot, high-energy gases. These gases rush through turbine stages. The turbines spin, driving both the compressors and the front fan. This self-sustaining loop is what keeps the engine running. After passing through the turbines, the remaining exhaust exits the engine at high speeds. Combined with the bypass air, this creates thrust. That thrust pushes the aircraft forward. The wings then convert that forward motion into lift. That's how jet aircraft fly. Now let's wrap up. Yes, all of this may completely sound like a bunch of jargon, but the takeaway is simple. Modern turbofan engines are efficient, powerful, quieter, and more reliable than previous turbojets and different engine types. They're among one of the most refined machines in human history. Well, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Comment any feedback that you have down below and any more video ideas that you have and want to see on this channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day.